flag of the United indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we have a quorum. Before we move on to the agenda, are there any other items, business items that we need to add to the agenda? No? So the first order of business is approval of the consent agenda.
Move we approve.
Okay, I hear a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, meetings minutes are approved, or the consent agenda is approved. Board reports. Got any report for us?
When we get to Esther Bordy.
Perfect. How about you, Mike?
Nope.
Nothing new. Okay, I don't have anything to add at this time either. We have no public hearing today, so we're gonna get to the fun stuff of the business tonight. So I'm really happy that we have our two new members, Sandy Hare and Gary Reboyne, and our mayor, Sherry DeVore, is here to sign you guys in, or to swear you guys in. Yes, okay, Mayor, please. We are happy to have you guys with us.
Yeah, one at a time.
Mhm.
Hey, Rachel, do you have a copy for him also?
I do.
But just because there's a lot to
Oh.
remember to mimic.
Yes.
There's how good your memory is.
Yeah, thought we would test that today. If I can have you raise your right hand and repeat after me, the best you can. I, Gary Reboyne, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Gary Reboyne, do solemnly swear or affirm
that I partially discharge the duties of a member of the City of Toledo Park Board
that I will
in accordance with the of the City of Toledo,
laws of the state of Washington and the ordinances and
uphold and adhere to the principles of integrity,
transparency and fairness in park board activities and decisions.
I will strive to promote the public welfare and act in the best interest of the City of Toledo.
I will strive to promote the public welfare and act in the best interest of the city of Toledo.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
And I will have you, hang on, I'll have you.
Or you can send it to
You could sit up here now. You move.
I, Sandy Hare, do solemnly swear. Oh,
Swear.
there it is down here. Or affirm
That I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of a member of the City of Toledo Park Board
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of a member of the City of Toledo Park Board
to the best of my ability in accordance with the constitutional laws of the United States,
to the best of my ability in accordance with the Constitution and laws of the United States,
the laws of the state of Washington and the ordinances of the City.
the laws of the state of Washington, and the ordinances and regulations of the City of Toledo.
I will uphold and adhere to the principles of integrity, transparency, and fairness in all park board activities and decisions. I will strive to promote the public welfare and act in the best interest of the City of Toledo.
I will strive to promote the public interest, the public welfare, and act in the best interest of the City of Toledo.
Welcome aboard.
the graphic pages for us.
Here's a full packet. Here's a full packet if you guys want to use it for.
Right there.
Yeah.
Hand me your pen, I don't have mine out yet.
Or just print out the Word
Yeah.
doc and not the originals. And then this is your.
You can have it. My own.
Okay. Okay, we'll get back to our agenda here and our business items, but before we move on, I do want to welcome both Gary and Sandy. We're really pleased to have you guys with us. It's great to have new faces on the board and in old and new faces in the community. And we're excited to have you guys work with us and see what we can do for our parks and keep our place looking pretty. So, on donation out at the park. Did any of you folks happen to, that are on the agenda, did you happen to look at it? What was on the agenda? In your packet? Yeah, full proposal. Let's see. What's these ones? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So I thought this was a pretty neat thing. So it's oh, excellent. Joe, do you want to talk about it a little bit? No? Okay. Just, I'll go over it then. So this was a proposal for a cribbage board in asking us to recommend to the city council to approve this donation. So what he's proposed, it's a handcrafted outdoor cribbage board to be installed at the park. There, Sandy's got a picture of it. And it's large and it's really neat looking and it's made from, will be created from sequoia setting. Okay, does any, so I think that you guys haven't, did you see the picture? Did you guys see the picture? Okay. So I read through it. There were some open questions. Do you want me to just read this whole thing since some of you haven't read it? Yeah. So the description, it's a board that's going to be carved directly into a sequoia log to designed to resemble a cribbage board. It'll be placed, kind of in place, so it will be placed on the ground for support and preservation. Seating, there will be a couple of matching log stools would be put in there, and cribbage pegs will be included. And then he recommends treating it with some resin or a wood preservative. So here are open questions he had. The placement is a location within Campbell's. Okay, considerations should include accessibility, visibility, and proximity to other recreational features. At the south end by the underneath those nice trees, or I don't know, we can certainly go take a walk about by the he provides us a couple options, obviously we can see that. We can keep a backup set at the park host station or at City Hall. And occasionally we're just gonna have to replace them. I'm just gonna have to realize that. That's okay. And it's made from natural materials, so there's minimal maintenance. And so his final recommendation request, I respect. This project exemplifies community spirit and creativity, and it aligns with our goal of enhancing public spaces with engaging, family-friendly features. So I would like to entertain a motion that I would like to get a motion that we submit this donation request to the city council for approval.
So move.
Second?
Very good. Any other discussion?
Well, I have some input.
Good.
So it would be nice to know before it actually goes before city council, the suggested location.
Okay,
So rather than a general, and I believe that Tim probably should be consulted. based on,
Absolutely.
Mowing.
yep,
And weed eating around it,
yep.
so.
Yeah,
How long is this? How large is it, Chuck?
About 10.5, well, it's almost 12 feet.
okay,
And it's actually two logs. We actually took two sequoias down
Okay.
from our backyard. And they are just shy of 20 years old, but they're rooted right into the water table, and the growth rings are about an inch apart. And so
Wow.
It's not a very strong log for building
Right.
purposes, but for carving and
Yeah.
drilling, it should be fine. And once it's sealed, some sort of sealant on it, it should last. That's what crop.
Is there a thought on a covering or to cover it up at winter time or?
he's recommending, we will have to remove or replace, but he also recommends and the playing surface could be treated with a resin or wood. Yeah, or just let it go.
How big are the pegs?
How big?
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't been done yet.
Oh.
It looks to be about,
Well,
Can I share this picture?
They're.
You just see kids.
it's pretty good size, it's good size.
Put them in the like a hole. Usually when nobody's
Mine
watching.
just sticks.
Yeah,
Ours
just
are-
sticks, they are, yeah, so.
At some point, go find your own.
Yeah.
Exactly, there's plenty of sticks out there.
Really is to not impact public works, the park hosts,
Uh-huh,
Right.
if at all possible.
right, right.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Cindy, how big are the holes? Because especially when Mary mentions things like putting it under the trees, which is a good suggestion, we're gonna get lots of leaves in there, and I wanna make sure that we can scoop them out before we play cribbage.
I don't.
There you go.
They're just holes.
They're just
Yeah.
holes.
Well, I was just thinking. If it's big, then it would be hard to get the leaves out of them to get the sticks.
Yeah, it's not a tabletop cribbage board.
Right, right. I think the intent is intended.
When I read this, I thought to myself, as a former teacher, and Gary can relate to this, this would be a wonderful beginning concept to Italy. When I was a principal, we painted a map of the entire United States on it, on the asphalt, so that the kids could play with it. And there's all kinds of things you can do in that
Definitely.
regard.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes. Some other suggestions. I like the idea of putting it in town at the jail. Keeping people in town longer, something to do if people are driving through. Or also was suggested by someone, maybe the boat launch. But
But both of those areas are transient.
Mhm.
There's, I mean, it's more, if the campers are there,
Yeah.
they're. Or be used at the jail or the boat ramp. In
Yeah.
my opinion.
That it has somewhere close by the rules to cribbage.
I forgot how to play.
Very good.
Was sued.
Very good,
Have
yes.
Played it for
Be even a class.
Yeah. See, lots of opportunities, lots of opportunities, yeah.
We can build it as the world, legal as the world's biggest.
There you go, there you go.
Weekend.
So should we take a vote? I'd like to, so we've got the motion, right? So,
Biggest one is in Saskatchewan.
oh.
50 feet, 11 inches long.
Oh.
Oh, okay, well.
Biggest in the US.
So, okay, so we'll take a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nobody, so it passes. So Tim will, before we go tonight. Perfect, perfect, thank you, Rachel.
Anytime before 12 o'clock.
Okay, very good. Okay, on to our unfinished business, comp plan status. Yeah, good job, Cindy. So Cindy gave us updates. She made some changes. Cost estimates are more granular and have low, high, and average costs. She added the impact fee assessment to chapter 5, pagination, she fixed, table of contents fixed, and the one question she had for us is the 2 vacant seats added to the title page. And yes. Being us moved to some of those things, so.
And I think what's needed from you is you're gonna ratify this again. You've done that once, but ratify it again with these and pass along a recommendation to the park board of which impact fee level you would like to see.
Okay, okay. Do we have any guidance from planning commission about what impact level?
Well,
I,
so
cause,
the impact levels are in that
yeah,
section.
okay.
It seems like kind of a duh to me,
yeah, yeah.
but I'm not gonna suggest.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna assume, has anybody sure that if you, the rest of the board is not familiar with them, if they should vote?
Yeah. The 2 others staying, technically those are considered
Okay,
4 votes.
so I want to entertain a motion to accept these changes that have done and that we set the high for the impact fees.
I motion to accept the changes. And the last part of that,
Set the impact fees at high.
set the
At the high
impact
level.
fees at the
Mhm.
high level,
Mhm.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
right?
Wait, can we have a little discussion first?
Sure.
Who may be watching on television may not understand what impact fees are. They may think that it impacts their taxes. And I think giving them that clarification before we vote might be helpful.
Okay, so impact fees are, for everybody's information, impact fees are fees that the city imposes on new developments within the city limits. It and parks use. Is that sufficient enough?
Um,
If there's more discussion, somebody else will have to jump in there.
I would add. Superintendent, and we had a similar plan when we were building new schools.
So-
The impact fees come in when the developer starts developing, and so you can start developing the parks at the same time in California. Is that the way it is here?
I can't speak to the legalities or the law regarding impact fees. I'm not an attorney. So,
We can collect impact fees. We don't necessarily start building right away. There's a lot of stipulations and hoops that we have to jump through.
mhm,
But impact fees do not come from residents, they come from builders or anybody that's coming in to build. So it does not affect current
taxes,
residents. Right.
current
Or
revenue, yeah,
or taxes, correct.
yeah, our current.
So the new development right across from the park entry would not fall under this because it hasn't been enacted yet.
Correct.
That's correct. Mhm. But any future.
Best of
Yeah.
Alice Meadows project.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So do we know what Sandy was asking, that California did it so that the impact fees are at the beginning of the bill?
These are at the beginning too, before you issue a permit, but as far as all the hoops and the stipulations and everything, it's probably very different from California.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Well,
Yeah.
because in California, you had lots of hoops to go through to build the school. You got the money, but then at least you had the money to start that process. So it isn't that you start building the school as soon as the check comes to you.
Yeah, don't have to wait, some places have to wait till the property sells
Mhm.
and then get
Yeah.
impact.
Well, there's a lot, there's
There's a
that
lot,
goes into
there's
it.
a, yeah,
There's deferrals that people can apply for, so we can't black and white answer that question.
Yeah.
But it's,
yeah,
impact fees should be paid at the time of the permit, if
right,
everything is done straight up.
Straight
Again, there's ways around it, so.
yeah. Good. Any other discussion, questions?
Does this apply?
Any new roof. But, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, how, any new dwelling.
dwelling.
I
Mhm.
wanna fix my roof.
No, I said.
No.
I said any new roof.
Other questions?
I'm good.
No, we're good. Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Hi.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, that one is passed then. Okay. Let's go to walk in the park then. And I think you're kind of spearheading this, so let's go. Maybe, do you want to just give a quick little rundown?
So, are you guys familiar with Esther Boyd Walk in the Park? It's in September.
Mhm.
Well, you've only been here a year. I don't know if you've been there yet. But basically, we're working on posters and digital copies that we can put out there so that everybody can know that we're going to have this. We've separated it, so we'll have to walk in the park.
No,
Because they are not gonna be doing their day in the park, they've got
Right.
this, okay.
we've
Sorry, I didn't
totally.
mean to interrupt you.
That's all right. We've totally, we as a board decided the walk in the park was totally separate from the day in the park. And the understanding is that they have to get their own, they
Yeah,
are
I didn't know if they
responsible
had
for that.
updated you guys, or if you guys had talked to them at all.
Well, it's a gate.
Okay,
Let her know that they.
they don't
got
have
Bill in
an,
their special events permit.
they don't have an events permit yet, so they should be.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't-
That's okay.
So all the things that we're working on is making sure that we can make it the best that we can. We've talked about beads, and every time that somebody completes a lap, they get a bead for whatever bracelet. The kids can go as many times as they want, get as many beads as they want. We do have a quilt that's going to be made. We just don't know if it's going to be, has been made by and Christine take a beat so that
That's
she
fine.
can do all the things that she needs to do. I
Okay.
It won't be as cheap as the paper that she had given us. It'll be a little bit more expensive than that, but there are a few questions that to make them unisex than versus men's shirts and women's shirts. So those are some questions that do they want some answers? On the day of, and when she lets me know, then we can reach out to the Chronicle and let them know, hey, we're gonna have this event. Would you be willing to come down and interview? The great granddaughter Dory does want somebody from Park Board to introduce one of the family members to speak.
Mhm.
So we do have to decide.
What color? Sure.
That is
We haven't,
up
this,
to
I don't think we've discussed that yet.
Elizabeth, I have a Chronicle contact for you.
awesome.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Good, very good. So we'll need to probably have a quote for the shirts.
Yes.
A price quote, and maybe with some price breakdown if, if I don't know what we've ordered in the past. 25, 50, yeah.
Yes, we just wanted to make
Sorry.
sure.
Otherwise, it's so hard to get sizes right,
Okay,
Now, are they going to produce these at a time?
I think it'll be ahead of time because
Okay.
it take a while to put the logo on the front and the sponsors, and do we even know which sponsors we're going to have?
Not yet. Yeah.
So,
We'll sponsor again, but we haven't been
right,
approached yet, so.
No.
how much time she needs.
Yes, how much lead time she needs. Mhm.
So it would be nice to do pre-signups to cover
Yeah,
the cost of doing the shirts.
yeah, and Cindy started on a form that we could, a digital form,
Yeah.
so that people could sign up. And that is on my list of things to do, is to review that. And that way we'll have a count, and on that sign up form, it'll say, what do you want? Do you want a shirt? And what size do you want, basically? So we'll put that all on the form, so that way we'll get have a general count, and then we can always pad it with the extra, depending on how many people we have, we can do a percentage and add on some extra for additional signups, because sometimes we do. I remember last year we did have some signups that day, the day of, people just came, so.
When we did the community cleanup
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, we had that is going to work. We had 42 people show up.
Oh, that's excellent.
So.
Good deal.
I wouldn't count on the number you get online to be representative of the number of people that might show up.
Very good. And I think we have a pretty good idea historically too. We can go back a couple of years and see what our average was, which I think will help us nail that down a little bit better.
Never been new t-shirts produced.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. Last year was.
They're
When
25.
did they all go away?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they did. Yeah.
What
9:30 to 11.
There you go.
Finished by.
Yeah. And we did find, Rachel found a number of things, giveaways and beads and stuff.
uh, 30 people. It's been years since
As Elizabeth was saying, we'll have, you know, an introduction and we'll have a member of the family talk. There will be some raffle prizes,
Okay.
there will be some raffle prizes, recognition of sponsors. Again,
The advertising in the schools.
We make a poster and we'll have a digital copy as well, so we could put the posters. So Esther Bordy was involved with the Catholic Church,
Mhm.
and she knew a lot of people that were there. A lot of people still remember her there, and her family said that it'd be great to have a poster there so they could all know about the event. We could put it at the school. We could put it right outside IGA Thursday market. We could make a bunch of flyers to be handed out.
Yeah.
I know that their family has talked about it being a really cool idea if we could do it, to have a table set up during cheese days to just give out information about it so people know about it for later. There is a possibility that we could pay a fee to put it in the cheese days book. Obviously not this year because they've already made it, but next year we could put it in there and then everybody would be prepared for when it happens. So
Very good suggestion.
I heard that there's a fee to put your information.
Yeah.
Again, for cleanup days, we did a lot of the things you're suggesting. We also ask the merchants and other vendors around town if they would post flyers in their businesses as well. And then the Monday afterwards, I went around and took them all down because there's nothing worse than having posters.
Yes,
Good.
and Betty's would be a great place because they have the push pin board and a lot of people go there.
Yep. Yeah, very good. Excellent. Okay. And then I have on my to-do list is reach out to sponsors. And if one of you guys wanted to join me on that, I haven't done a lot on it yet, as we talked at the last meeting and Sandy brought up the timing of reaching out to the sponsors, I think is there, and try to approach them when they're not being inundated by other requests for money. So I'm just kind of playing that by ear. We've got a file that has kind of a lot of prior sponsors that we can start with, and I'm just compiling a list and then just gonna hit the main road and drive all over town. So that's on my list and it is not forgotten, but I'm just not doing it yet because I think it's a little premature yet. So
Would do it after cheese days.
that was my thought.
At cheese days, you could actually have a sign up or.
Table or something for cheese days.
No.
That is the
You're gonna
question.
be busy.
Yeah, he's the big cheese, so. Okay,
If you do a big poster, I'm on the board at Senior Center. We could advertise through there.
That would be great.
good.
We have hundreds go through.
If you have connections to Winlock, Senior Center
I might be
too,
able to, but I'll
whoa,
work with you.
that's amazing.
Good.
Get the word out.
Good connection.
Yes, Joe?
Have you ever seen, they're smaller, it's a page, but it's into four, so that the little flyers are, it's a mini flyer, and places like that, you can just pick it up, put it in your purse, put it in your pocket and go. A lot of people look at something that's a regular page size, it's just too much.
Mhm.
I think we have to make a
So much language on it, like, just.
yeah, I
You
could put
can,
a
you can redo it.
could do a smaller version with just the important information.
Yeah.
Two-sided.
Two-sided? Do two-sided?
As you like.
It's easy.
Yeah.
But try to keep the smaller version.
You kind of, we'll make sure we get some of this information to you new members. because Cindy put together kind of a checklist for us. This is what we're going by of all the different things that we need to do to prepare for Esther Bordy. And each one of us have taken different responsibilities. So
Keep that file if you wanted to update it.
awesome. Yeah.
Because that was actually one of my questions on this topic.
Yes.
The one I have is fairly out of date.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it was being helpful, so.
It certainly helps me
Okay.
to
better
keep
than
track of
nothing.
it. It definitely helps me to keep track of it and have a checklist. That's how I would operate on something anyway.
To you.
You're awesome. Cool. Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
And moving forward, and by the time September comes, we're gonna have this nailed down, so.
Yeah, Mike, if I give you an events permit, do you want to pass that off to Janine?
Yeah.
Okay,
Get
that's a good idea.
more of them too for me.
Okay.
I've got a whole bunch of events.
Thanks.
Oh,
An update on the park. What's happening?
So, let's see here. First of all, I want to make sure to thank all the volunteers that did come out and help clean up the park. It was a great effort. I noticed that there were also some members of the Lions Club that were there. I did move a couple of the big picnic tables
Mhm.
over,
Saw that.
into between. Of the
Smart.
because people just can't pick them up and leave with them. One of the things that I came across was we had visitors 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, we had visitors from Tennessee. They really liked the. I thought it was really nice. We're still dealing with a little bit of vandalism. One of the questions that did come about, and I know at one time we had it, but I wasn't quite sure. And I didn't know, where the city was gonna sit it with actually having the internet back in that park again. Because we're having quite a few of the residents, or they're coming through our bicyclists, they can't get,
Mhm.
there's no signal. And as I'll discuss with. Later on, that I can't get signal at times either because I'm trying to sign into that crazy.
Yeah, I think the way Toledo Tel explained it is we can't put a modem or whatever it's called over there,
Yeah.
the internet box.
So the other suggestion I have because of that, because my wife and I were talking about it, is actually maybe investing in Starlink.
My 2 cents is that you need someone either from city council or the
Yep.
mayor actually put their foot down because.
Yeah.
Public access to Wi-Fi is doable.
Yes,
I think Toledo Tel is just choosing
Not.
not to want to.
yeah,
These people don't. Fine.
No, and Starlink is definitely an option. It's an expensive option.
yeah,
It depends. It can be about $100 a month. But once the equipment is bought, it's all set up high, so it can, you can have it pretty much anywhere you want.
The initial equipment's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
It's $600.
yeah.
So that's something to consider for maybe in the future.
Consider during the budgeting process.
Yeah, for the future.
Yeah.
Because this seems to be a headache that we don't really want to have to.
through Facebook Marketplace a couple of nights ago, and someone had Starlink equipment available.
We can't buy it from a
We can't.
individual
Mm-mm.
And why is that?
because they're not an approved vendor. Yeah, and I've got to be able to show who I'm giving money to.
Yeah,
And you sold it to yourself through the city.
yeah.
It's a, yeah.
There are a lot of rules and regulations about who you can buy, how you purchase. It all comes back to use of city funds.
So after I'm done with my little spiel. I'm gonna kick out of here because I gotta go finish mowing grass.
Okay.
Now that the temperatures come down.
Yeah, I've got two things. So we have one person that's gonna be staying there for quite a while. We wanna keep an eye on that, make sure they don't rebook. I think it's a 10-day stay, a 2 week
It's almost
stay.
two, I think it's almost 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and, we can't prevent them from booking again after 2 weeks.
Keep an eye on it, let us know
But-
what's going on.
But our ordinance is they have to actually leave the park for 30 days before they can come back.
Correct, yes.
Oh.
They have to leave for 2 weeks and then they can come back for
I
2
think it's
weeks.
30 days.
Is
30
it?
days.
So,
Okay, so.
Okay.
yeah, it caught my attention today when that reservation came in, that it was the maximum stay that, the reservation system allowed.
Rules of.
Please.
I just added Starling to my 26 budget notes. And then my other question is, I.
A lot of it, believe it or not, it's gonna be.
It's hard for him to come in when there's leaks and everything. He's like, I need to come in earlier in the year before everything.
Leaks out.
So
Right,
is
because
this,
we can't,
so is this coming to the 26th year?
this is now, I need to spend it now.
I got big hanging limbs there that are just gonna be awful.
Ambulance.
Oh, yeah, they're big, they're arched over, they're so leafed down that they're
Okay.
arched right over.
Is when we need to take care of those ones.
Yeah, I would have them go through and look at each one of those, if not, I'm there until, we can walk it.
Perfect.
Hey, Tim, how much do we charge for someone to use the RV dump?
$5,
$5, and how do they pay for that?
it's usually in the red box,
Honor
Okay.
honor system.
honor system,
Mhm.
yeah, so. If I can find they have used, debit card sliders in there, that. Cause obviously they're not really using, the online system too much, are they?
Not for the dog.
Not for the.
We don't actually have that option.
Oh, I thought.
It's just that there's one dump
It's an
included,
extra.
included. In
Yeah.
the reservation, but
Okay.
there's no extra.
There was
dump.
no extra dump fee, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're still putting that, trying to put all that together so we can present that to the board to go to the state council. But it's about $2,500 for the machine itself and then whatever the layout is to have it put in. And I don't know that, so. We're still looking to have that done, but yeah, everything is done by the honor system right now. It's kind of like when we can't get people that are. They know that they can just go over, because they'll go to the big kiosk and they'll see the red box, they'll see the other box there, and they'll put their.
There's one.
There were still envelopes, yes.
Oh.
I'm sure those will be checked.
Anything else on the park? Any other comments, questions? Our next order of business is required classes. So those of us that are on the board and for your new members, our insurance is provided, the city's insurance is provided through an organization called AWC. They require certain things from us in order to be insured. And that is adequate training for any board members, people and elected officials. So you guys will be assigned some training. Set it up for you. They will also set up Toledo emails for you,
That's
and that's how they will communicate.
And then we just ask that you guys check your email at least once a week.
Mhm.
That is how we communicate, is through email. We
Yeah.
don't have business phones, so we don't text or call on our personal phones.
Right.
So it's all done through email. And
And
I will get, your emails have already been set up, so you'll receive an email from the RMSA. Asking you to create your account. I'll already have your username. You'll just need to set up a password. You can log in there, and I think it's 4 classes total. They're probably like an hour. They go over public records, open meetings, and that kind of stuff.
and are they online or?
They're online.
It's all online. Mhm. Yeah, you just sit in front of your computer. The other question I talked briefly, Mike still apparently has some problems getting in.
Yeah, I've done 2 of them. I've got a couple more to go, maybe 3, I don't know. And when I make an attempt, I first thing they put me on is law enforcement. And I don't need to know anything about law enforcement. So then I call Sarah and she says, oh no, you better press this button and that button. And so I do that, and lately now I think I may be too long since I've over my deadline. So they're probably saying, no. I may have to resign in order.
It's ended the deadline, so you shouldn't have any problems. Sarah will be in tomorrow if you,
Okay.
Oh, I got to drink up.
if you need help with
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
And I recall from when I was taking, it does pop up, one of them, or maybe even 2 of them popped up in it, and they were from law enforcement. It was training that was developed by law enforcement. So it does so it does look like you're doing some law enforcement training, but it is applicable to what we're doing. So don't let that throw you. It might look into it and make sure it. Yeah.
Well, we have, what is it here? What is it? Oh, I can't find it now. But there's cybersecurity and ethics and all kinds of good
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
So.
Those will be assigned yearly in January.
Yeah.
So
They
you do it
unfortunately
all
have
over
to be,
again?
they have to be done annually.
Yes, they do.
We have to do them in the office too.
Yeah. We're actually fortunate because other people have to do a lot more. So. Remember is that we want to protect our intent here is to city. They can spend a few hours in front of the computer taking some training. I think it's important to us.
Right, because even as a volunteer, if there's a mistake
Yeah.
made on a public record, the city could get sued.
Exactly. There's so much history, especially with public records requests of
Correct.
cities. Just it's very difficult. It's hard for them. It's very expensive. It's very costly. So it's really, really important that we pay attention to what the rules are too. Because otherwise she has to deal with that, and it's not pretty.
So stay on our good side, baby.
Does anybody else have any public input? Joe?
Yes.
I see you
So
sitting there.
I was in the Waco.
What is that one?
They had some really cool ideas. And this is one.
Oh,
Where are
And the
those?
things, they look like stamps, but they're quite cute. And they put them, it's just on a tarp. That's all it is. It's on a black tarp background. And so they had those.
And what are they?
They look like stamps.
Yeah. Yeah.
what's
Designed to
the
advertise
purpose?
them?
Just a
Sure.
size or just
Just
advertising?
advertising in their parks. and
Okay,
Different This is a different one. So and other things that they want to cover up, like ugly fencing and garbage.
Oh.
They put it-
That's, I see.
We need to
But you
enter
didn't- you
these
don't
into the
have
record.
to, and this one is like an old label, canning label.
We could pick up on the theme from our logging industry and from the.
Thing,
Wish we had
these
a.
days or whatever, but anyway, this is actually on a little trailer, little shack on a trailer. And what they do is they move it around, and this time it was at the farmer's market, which they have. And so what they're doing is selling some of the t-shirts from the city that are left over, I guess, I don't know. And all kinds of events. You can pick up all their flyers from them. They can tell you all the things to do, what's coming up.
A mobile visitor center?
Mobile visitor center. They'll push out of, but it's kind of unusual, but the whole front end of it is glass. It's like, almost like you see in, on a boat, a ship. And I thought, oh. I don't know how we would move it. It's got a trailer.
Yeah.
So if they,
Anybody who's got a hitch on the back of their truck.
yeah. But I mean,
Cute.
for every Thursday, but it would be fun just there in the jail parking lot across from you guys, because you'll have a lot of visitors there. And maybe we can get different people to man it, especially for you know, or at
Great
least
thing
have
to
the stuff
consider.
out where you can just pick it up.
Mhm.
And I just thought it was clever.
Yeah.
Clever.
Can I take a picture of that idea?
Yeah,
Because my son might be
I
able to help
know,
with that.
stealing ideas from other communities.
I've got pictures on my phone for the same.
Really
purpose.
important. And then I saw this. From the shipping industry and used it as borders to curve. So I thought it was just clever. I was just thinking of clever.
Ways to do
ways
things,
to
yeah.
do things.
Is there a possibility that we could do that, but instead of those type of pictures, use actual like historical Toledo pictures?
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't be doing that.
That would be really cool to
That'd be
see.
illegal. And that's.
It's similar like that, but but larger. Or I don't know, you were talking about putting some panels. They're supposed to go on the gate of the Steamboat
Yeah,
Alley.
Very small.
Okay.
They're up high.
Yeah, they're 12 by 24.
These are printed on.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Flexible vinyl.
Yep, that's real heavy.
Like a band.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
that's exactly right. Yeah,
How do they keep them from being stolen?
they just have grommets on them. So,
These pictures are like 2 weeks old and then they're gone now.
no,
It's kind of like with the highs of seniors up for like a football season or basketball. We have the grommets fly off because of the wind. We have
it's a lock down at the beach.
Yes. Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
I'm happy to steal other people's credit.
Exactly.
Do we-
Exactly. If they're-
Aside from us here on the board, do we have a city beautification subcommittee or anything like that?
That has Envision Toledo.
Okay. Any, yes.
Just to come full circle back to the proposal on the cribbage board.
Uh-huh.
End of the day, Wednesday.
That would be tomorrow. That would be tomorrow. Well, then I'll go see Tim tomorrow
You know,
morning.
granted, Eric won't be getting to this for a little while, so.
It's not,
If you don't, I mean, if you.
Okay.
Sunday's council.
there will be other councils. Okay. well, then I might not get with him before that. Okay,
Just wanted to let you know what the next
okay.
cycle is.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, anybody else have any questions, comments? No. No, second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Adjourned.